like the idea that a voice can just go somewhere
uninvited, like a dirty thought in a nice clean mind.
Welcome back to the Liberal Lens. I'm Jay, and today we're going to talk about how Trump wants the Washington Commanders to name their new stadium after him. So it was reported by ESPN in a not-so-shocking story that Donald Trump wants the Commanders' new almost $4 billion stadium complex to be named after him. Now, let's go back a little bit and talk a couple months ago when Donald Trump, he was threatening them, saying if they didn't change their name back to their old name from the Commanders, that he was going to make sure they couldn't get that old RFK spot for the new stadium. Now, he wants them to name him after him. And let's not forget, today he is actually at the Commanders-Lions game in Washington in the box up with the owner, Josh Harris. So you know there's going to be some weird conversations going on there. And if Trump doesn't hear what he wants to hear, he'll probably do some like vague, veiled threat. And we'll see how Walmart's Josh Harris deals with that one. So according to a senior White House source, there have been back-channel communications with a group of members of the Commanders ownership group led by Josh Harris to express Trump's desire to have the Dome Stadium in the nation's capital bear his name. The new stadium is being built on the old RFK Stadium site that served as the team's home from 1961 to 1996. So then they ask Caroline Levitt about this at a press conference, which she kind of like backtracks and doesn't want to answer. But Caroline Levitt says that would be a beautiful name, as it was President Trump who made the rebuild of the new stadium possible. Yeah. All right, Caroline. Beautiful name. Do you realize that the last poll I seen like a couple weeks ago had Trump's approval rating in Washington, D.C. sitting around 18%? Yeah, let's name a stadium in that city Donald J. Trump Stadium. Is there much of a worse place to name that just because of the people there who hate him? There's nothing like rubbing it in their face every day when they drive past that shit and they got to see it, and it just reminds them of that motherfucker 20 years from now. I am so glad I don't live in D.C. and have to see that if it happens. So Levitt declined to answer any additional questions. When the White House source told ESPN, it's what the president wants and will probably happen. Yeah, because he'll be threatening, whining, throwing a tantrum if it doesn't. We're going to come to an interesting thing before we get out of here about this, though, because it would be hurtful to the Commanders to give him what he wants, but we'll talk about that in a second. So they reached out to the Commanders, ESPN did, for a comment, and Commanders spokesperson declined comment Saturday. However, a team source said that the organization has spent days preparing for Trump's attendance at the Commanders' home game against the Detroit Lions on Sunday afternoon. Trump will attend the game as Harris's guest and is expected to participate in the halftime activities honoring the military. The team source said that while the Commanders anticipate possible conversations with Trump about the new stadium during the game, there have been no formal discussions by the Commanders to this date. See, here's the thing, and I get they're trying to do this the right way because they don't want to piss off Trump. But do you know how much money a team gets for naming rights to their stadium? It is astronomical. Astronomical. And you know Trump's not going to pay the naming rights, so he's just going to expect them to eat that and not get any money and just name the stadium after him. Do we believe billionaires are going to give up any money? That's how they stay billionaires, is because they hoard all the money. These dudes will squeeze a quarter till the eagle screams, but yet Trump's going to expect them to give up billions of dollars, at least hundreds of millions for naming rights. I don't see that happening in one of the biggest markets in the United States, in Washington, D.C. Well, the Commanders are making a rebuild. It looks like they got the right quarterback in Jaden Daniels. I don't know. It's a good time to be a Commanders fan. And I don't think that they're going to want to give up all that money, because they should be selling out games all the time with excited Commanders fans for the way it's going. But let me know what you think. Put it in the comments. Let me know if you think the Commanders should name the new stadium after Donald Trump. let me know what you think of a president even asking for this, because when things get named after people, they're not usually asked to do them. It's a dedication. So let me know what you think about Trump begging for this honor to get the stadium named after him. Let me know if you think this is one of the strangest things you hear a president do, because there's way better shit in the world to be worrying about right now, like tariffs and SNAP and healthcare and the economy. And yeah. So anyway, thanks for watching. Again, you guys are giving us tons of support on Facebook, and we love you for it. Please go over to YouTube and Instagram. Make sure you follow and subscribe. Hit the notification button. And if anybody's looking and you can't find us on all platforms, just at Planet Politics News, and you will find us. All right, guys, keep fighting the good fight. One world, one love. Deuces.
Everything's polluted. The environment, the government, the schools, you name it.
This radio person is the whole problem. Are we going to allow this guy to be heard by anyone who can turn a dial?
You out there? You listening?